This teaching material is an introduction to the regulations for tax-exempt vehicles for people with disabilities and common penalties for vehicle license tax, provided by the Taoyuan City Government Department of Taxation. You're welcome to listen. Vehicles used by people with disabilities are exempt from vehicle license tax. As long as the vehicle is owned by the persons with disabilities, the tax authority in the vehicle registration area will actively approve the exemption from the vehicle license tax. If the disabled person owns multiple vehicles that qualify for a tax exemption, they can still apply to the tax authority in the vehicle's registration area to designate one vehicle as the tax-exempt vehicle. In addition, starting from January 7, 2025, the tax exemption conditions for people with disabilities have been relaxed. If the person has a driver's license but does not own a vehicle, they can choose one vehicle owned by their spouse or a relative within the second degree of kinship who shares the same household registration to be exempt from the vehicle license tax. If the person does not have a driver's license but needs to use a vehicle, the vehicle can be owned by their spouse, a relative within the second degree of kinship who shares the same household registration, or a guardian or assistant appointed by the court. The exemption amount is limited to the tax amount for a vehicle with a total engine displacement volume of 2,400 cc. The excess amount will be subject to the differential tax. The following is a table of taxable and exemption amounts for private passenger cars with a total engine displacement of 2,401 cc or more. The tax exemption amount for vehicles owned by people with disabilities is limited to 11,230 NT dollars. The exemption amount is limited to the tax amount for vehicles with a total engine displacement of 2,400 cubic centimeters cc and electric vehicles with a maximum horsepower of 262 imperial horsepower HP or 265.9 metric horsepower PS. The excess amount will be subject to a differential tax. Each person with disabilities is limited to one vehicle for tax exemption. The tax exemption will take effect and is calculated from the date of application approval. Remember to complete the license tax exemption procedure before using the vehicle. Required documents for application include a valid disability certificate and a photocopy of the vehicle owner's bank book. Tax refunds, if any, will be deposited into this account. If your vehicle is driven on public roads or parked on the roadside or at an alley entrance, and any of the following situations occur, a fine will be imposed according to the Vehicle License Tax Act. Failure to pay the vehicle license tax on time, in addition to paying the overdue tax, a fine of up to one time the tax amount will be imposed. Overdue vehicle inspection and directly cancel the license plate, or the vehicle suspension and cancel the license plate, pay the overdue tax, and a fine of up to 2 times the tax amount will be imposed. Lending the license plate to another vehicle or hanging the license plate of another vehicle, a fine of up to 2 times the annual tax amount will be imposed. A friendly reminder: if your vehicle or license plate is stolen, please report it to the police and request a theft report. Then submit the theft report to the Motor Vehicle Authority to cancel the registration of the stolen vehicle or license plate. This will stop the collection of vehicle license tax. If the vehicle is no longer in use, please complete the vehicle suspension or license plate cancellation procedures at the Motor Vehicle Supervision Authority. If the vehicle will never be used again, it should be registered for scrapping. The vehicle license tax will stop being levied from the date of completion of the change registration. Tax payment by authorized bank transfer. In order to avoid missing a tax bill or forgetting to make a payment, you may authorize our office to automatically deduct various taxes from your account. If you have any questions, please feel free to call the toll-free number of the Taoyuan City Government Department of Taxation Headquarters or any of its branch offices. Our dedicated staff will be available to assist you and provide answers. Thank you.